I love how the first noises are just an airplane.
It's every single time. Good morning.
Good morning.
And it's so much louder because we opened the windows. It's 68 degrees and we're like, we just need...
Nice.
It's very nice. How are we all feeling today?
Umo, Wade, Jacob.
Jeez.
Umo, Arco, Vidor. Happy Wednesday. How's our week going?
How is it going? We had a great time at pottery class last night.
We did. It's really wonderful to be surrounded by so many creatives and to just get to yap about what's going on in the world and whatever we're all like watching at the time or listening to, like podcasts, wins with everybody. It's really cool.
It's it's a really good sense of community and a beautiful third space for us.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, technically second because we work and live in the same place. But.
That's right. Good evening, Umo.
Good evening.
Great to have you. I decided that we're not talking about Warner Brothers or Paramount today.
You know what? I really love that decision.
Yeah.
I think it's great. Let's focus on some cool stuff.
Yeah. And just...
Hi, Arco.
There's just so much opportunity to...
Hi, Wade.
To talk about other things.
I totally agree.
And it's not really like we have any new updates. It just keeps being like, well, we're in regulation and stuff like that. So
I like to move on. And also we were reminded in our Twitch stream the other day by Chris to click the drop down arrow at the top of our chats and do live chat so that we all can see him.
That's right.
Because Chris needs to be represented. I don't know if he's here yet, but we did make our switch over just in case.
You never know if Chris is going to be with us.
We hope he's with us.
We hope. But yeah, good week for you all so far. Jacob, Wade, any fun creative projects that you're working on? Umo, Vidor, Arco. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
There he is.
Thank you for the chicken tip.
Yes.
They were great.
Chris helped us with air frying some chicken wings last night.
Yeah.
They were delicious.
They were delicious.
I loved it.
And our week has been a little overwhelming, but I will say this morning, we'll talk about why later, but I feel like I've got my head on straight and the overwhelm is subsiding and I'm in the, one thing at a time. So yeah, I'm in a better mental state than I was yesterday.
Love
so
that.
That's good.
I'm seen again.
Yes, you are. Good vibes.
Love that.
Jacob.
Just in case anybody's new. Hi, I'm Ashleigh. This is Courtney. We are CA in LA, Courtney and Ashleigh in Los Angeles. We are best friends, filmmakers, musicians.
And variety streamers.
Hi, Laurie. Is it
Lorianne? Yeah.
Hello. Thanks for jumping in chat. Thanks for saying hi.
I'm very happy that you're here.
Yeah.
Got a lot of cool stuff today.
We have a lot of cool stuff today and wanted to use today to be a little bit more informational and educational than just being like, this is new, this is new, this is new, because one of the films that's in theaters, it said that it was this genre. And I was like, wait a second, what is that genre? So I went on a rabbit hole. And so you guys are going to also go in that rabbit hole with me. And then Court and I have been watching a lot of PBS lately. We've become those people. And
I love it.
And I think it's really, really important that we support our public broadcast systems and realize like how much it had a part in a lot of our upbringings.
Mm-hmm. I'm able to talk about a deck of cards that I did some illustrations for, so that's happy fun times. That's
is
so cool.
A whole deck of cards.
We have some tarot cards that just have the most beautiful designs. I'm so happy for the people that get to illustrate those, and that's really amazing that you got to do a deck of cards. That's so cool. Hi, Thrish.
Hi, Thrish.
Did you find Alice?
Yeah, love PBS so much. And yeah, it's like such a great resource for independent filmmakers. And yeah, I just want to like talk about that.
It's really good.
I think there needs to be more information about that. So why not be that?
I agree.
Wait, that is so cool about the deck of cards. I have hundreds of questions. Okay, we're going to go ahead and jump into the slides. So I can't believe we are in week 10. This is week 10. And week 9, last week, did we say who we are, what we do?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, okay, cool. We've been streaming on Twitch for 8 years. We have been making films together since 2012, which is really, really wild and very special. And something that we really want to do with this show is break things down in crayon and make these like really abstract filmmaking and storytelling elements make sense. So we try to explain it as simply as possible and try to help explain why it matters and why it should matter. Okay.
I agree.
Cool. So last week we talked about film news. Courtney went over some awesome film effects and we challenged y'all to go create. Wade made a deck of cards.
Right.
Yeah.
Small. It's awesome.
I know that Thrish made some burgers. So that's great. Hi, Kerr.
Hello,
Happy
Kerr.
Wednesday.
Welcome in.
What we created last week is that we are re-releasing our vinyl. As mentioned earlier, we're musicians. And so we're re-releasing our studio album, Hindsight, that we released last November. We're releasing it on vinyl in September. And we got to record 3 new songs, which was really cool. Queen Sharon, hello.
Hello.
It's great to have you.
Welcome in. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Also, we do have to send you that folder structure, and I will do that today.
Freya has a new game today. While I'm working, she's pulling my dirty socks out of the laundry and collecting them on her bed. Oh my goodness. I love that she's starting a collection. And it's in-house. Really, really beautiful.
That's amazing.
Hi,
And
Yas.
Alice, hello.
Hello. Hello.
Welcome in.
Yeah, cooking is art. Absolutely. And if we treat it as such, I think that will help transform our brains and help us think differently about how food can be nourishing.
And what creating is.
We got you.
Yeah, got you.
So yeah, we recorded our album. We got to do all of the vocals and all of the guitar and piano and bass and drums here, which was really special. So very chill vibes. And literally that's how we recorded vocals is that second mic or that second photo with Court, which just how special.
Just chilling in the middle.
Yeah, it was so cool. We got lots of tacos. Like
Yeah.
sponsored by tacos, truly.
Yeah.
So very fun. We also got a bunch of work back in ceramics. So that middle one is a serving tray, ceramic piece that I made because we're trying to move away from plastic in our household. So wanted to just make something really fun and colorful that matched our kitchen, and I did it.
You did.
So that's exciting. You want to talk about your friend on the right?
Oh yeah, it's a little worm and it has a backpack on, so it's our world traveler. And then it has 2 different types of emotions. There's the very big one with the mouth being open, and then there's the tiny smile at the top. So it's just like it's very versatile.
Yeah.
Yep. So I got that back from Glaze, and then the one on the left is one that Ashleigh and I started collaborating on, which we think is hilarious.
Thank you, Thrish. Yeah, the texture was a lot of fun. We got to use some rollers, and I got to play with slab that I had rolled out with clay that I wasn't able to use for anything else. So I was like, okay, well, guess we're making some spoon rests.
Yeah.
So it's fun. And then, yeah, as Court mentioned, we started working on this collab piece, currently named Nigel, but wanted to make this weird oddity that's like a sculpture from Rome that wasn't finished. So it's going to look really weird when we're done. But we got to
We're excited.
get started on that piece. So as you can see, we really like our weird girl art. And as a chat question to get started, what's a remake that you actually want to see? I saw that a lot of the Fast and Furiouses are on different streaming platforms, and I was like, not you.
No, I want a new Divergent series.
Okay, so
I'd be excited about it. We're just redoing it.
Clean
We're
slate.
scrapping it and we're starting over.
We're gonna pretend that Divergent OG didn't happen.
Yes.
New imagining. Okay.
Yes.
I see that. Remake that I want, I really, really, really want to see Another Wrinkle in Time. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
I know it's been made twice, but
Or Time Traveler's Wife. I feel like that one could have been.
that would be really good.
Could have been
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Gilmore Girls, that would be really interesting as a complete remake. I think I'll get to see Merm's down video soon, so looking forward to seeing it. Kerr, rumor has it that it's pretty snazzy.
We're not partial on that.
I'm really excited for you to see it.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah,
And
Gilmore
then we
Girls.
get to talk about it, and then we get to show stills from it. And,
I'm excited to see the new Harry Potter series where they can bring in all the details they missed.
okay.
Is there anything in particular that you're looking for or that you're hoping for, Chris? Because that's great.
That would be the perfect time to incorporate all of those things. You're right. And that would help differentiate it from the movies as well.
Yeah. I think there's something interesting in being able to take movies and breaking them down into series because I think it lowers the stakes while still keeping the world.
Yes.
Yeah. They could go ahead and remake Street Fighter for me again without Cody Rhodes as Guile. Okay.
Why is that? I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But why?
Did Cody do a bad job? Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Shame, Cody. Shame. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I have heard people talk about a remake of Street Fighter, not like in the Hollywood sense, but you aren't the first person I've heard say that, which is interesting because I don't really know much about Street Fighter other than people would like a remake of that. A do-over, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay. As we're continuing to talk about, we would like a do-over, redo. There's just so much backstory left out of the movies. I hope the series does ton better and not just comedic relief.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
I hear you
Definitely wanting to see a different perspective, different take on it. Totally.
I hope it goes well.
Yeah, me too. Cool. So some new stuff that's on streaming. This is called K Everything, The Global Rise of Korean Culture. It's a documentary hosted by Daniel Day Kim, and he's exploring the global impacts of South Korea, specifically on its influence with music, K-pop, like Korean barbecue, film, food, and beauty. It looks really, really interesting. It aired on CNN, but it is available on HBO Max for you to check out over 4 episodes. So
does Ron better? Oh, that's very different, Chris. Yes. Okay. I was like, who's Ton?
Yeah.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah, I was like, does Ton better?
Like, got it. We got it.
Yeah. Wait, was Ron not supposed to be comedic? Sorry, I didn't read the books.
There's just more.
Okay.
Like they've touched very little on his backstory until the later movie, and like there's just more.
Justice for Ron.
Of course there is. Yeah.
Justice for Ron. Following down that route of people going back to their homelands, Stanley Tucci goes to Italy for season 2, 5 episodes of this documentary series where he's exploring the history and connections with food that have shaped each culture and each region's pasta, which, how fun. Everyone that I know that goes to Italy eats lots of pasta. So it would be really, really cool to see the different historical landscapes and just the history of the area on top of learning about how to make this really delicious food. And also it'll encourage you to have spaghetti while you're eating it. So I feel like that's 5 episodes of pasta.
We just had pasta.
That sounds great to me.
Yeah, I'm not mad about that.
Has anyone watched season 1 or season 2 of Good Omens? Because season 3, it's fascinating that they're calling it season 3, but it's only 1 episode and it's 90 minutes long. So
that's really interesting.
Yeah, just call it a feature film that's wrapping up the series. Maybe not season 3. I don't know. That's just me. But this is a fantasy series on Amazon Prime that came out today. That's about angels, demons, and good and evil. The promo of it seems like it spoils what happened on the season 2 cliffhanger. So in the case that you haven't seen this series and now that it's all available, you want to watch it out, I do not want to ruin that for you. So it just seems like it's about a battle of good and evil.
Right. The books, a lot of the heroic stuff Hermione does is actually Ron, and he guides Harry and Hermione a lot.
Oh, he's not just the side piece. Oh, that's cute. I love that for him. Go Ron. So you watched season 1. What caused you to not continue watching it, Wade? If you know, or maybe you just didn't get around to it, which makes sense. I don't know how far it's gone from the book now. Good Omens or Harry Potter? The Punisher also. This is a 44-minute superhero action episode that's exploring a specific scenario following the events of Born Again. So this is out on Disney Plus. The controversy with this is that it was supposed to be 60 minutes, but they cut a lot of the fluff out because people. And so
it seems like we're starting to watch things turn into short form.
It is looking that way, right? Mm-hmm. So
interesting.
The Punisher. He looked really mad. So
all this stuff with Neil G I'm kind of done, but they also wrapped everything up with one. No need for more. Oh, okay, so you just felt that season 1 was complete and you didn't need to partake any further. Hi, JC.
Totally makes sense to me, Wade. Totally. Hi, JC. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for being here.
And Good Omens was a book from the early 90s. Oh, okay. So you don't know how far away they are from that book. Got it.
So, Chris, are you looking forward to this Daredevil episode? I like that it's nice, succinct, 44 minutes, get in, get out, 48 minutes with credits. But they always skip them anyways. They're like, next, do you want next? Disney doesn't, though. Okay, I've never heard of this show, and I was a huge Cartoon Network fan. So I don't know if I missed something here, but regular show, The Lost Tapes, this was a show originally on Cartoon Network in 2010, and it got brought back for like a film in 2015, and now they're bringing it back. It's 2 episodes that are out on YouTube right now. And then, regular show. It was 2 episodes are out on YouTube right now, and then every day on Cartoon Network, starting on Monday for this week and next week, they're releasing an episode every day. That's wild. And eventually this year, they are planning on releasing 40 episodes.
I've definitely seen the 2 characters on the left, but my eye is immediately drawn to the bulbous dome on the right. I don't know what is going on, but I am here for it.
Wait, that's what I'm saying. I legitimately have no idea how I missed this. Yeah, Jacob, everything I was seeing, people were really hype about this, and they were like, "Oh my God, OG Cartoon Network coming back! Wow." So I'm not sure how I missed it, but really, really dope artwork, and it seems fun. Mark Hamill voices the monkey in that show.
Oh,
skips.
JC was not a fan of the regular show.
Okay.
Oh, we'll check it out.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. And it's airing on TV, on Cartoon Network. Come on. This is not a new show, but the series wrapped. And I know a lot of you here said that you prefer the binge watch model. So highly recommend The Rooster. It's got Steve Carell in it. It's got so many really amazing performances. The banter's really great. So if you're a fan of Shrinking, Ted Lasso, Steve Carell, this is not his normal comedy that you may have known him from, like The Office or 40-Year-Old Virgin. This is a very mature, older, earnest humor, but really,
it's very good.
Really quick banter, and it's extraordinary. So comedy.
We love it.
10 episodes. They're 30 minutes long. All of them are out on HBO Max, and season 2 is already in the works. They're planning on having season 2 out within a year, which is interesting that we're starting to follow the model that has been traditional TV, that you are releasing shows within a year. So that's exciting that they're making the investment with The Pit doing that, and they're making the investment with Rooster doing that.
I agree.
I really loved this show.
I hope this means that we'll get more, because they're releasing on a faster timeline that they'll need to fill more slots, i.e. hopefully leading to more work.
That's right.
So we'll see.
Wade said it took you a minute to get into it.
Don't you love shows like that?
I gave it my best effort because my daughter loves the regular show, but it just didn't make sense and wasn't all that funny to me.
That's fair.
I've heard that reaction from people about Total Drama Island, and I get it. I love that show though.
But hey, I mean, if you get it still. But Street Fighter comes out later this year. For me, he's too small to play. Guile, my mind just blipped and went, why is Cody Rhodes here for his scenes in the trailer? Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's really hard to get past casting. I get that. Totally get that. Okay, we're to some of the movies that are in theaters this weekend. We've got Is God Is. I have heard extraordinary things about this. JC, Sterling K. Brown is in this. This is a really, really interesting look for a film. Highly recommend checking out the trailer for this if you haven't seen it. It's a specific look, a specific style, and I'm really glad that we're seeing a return to these type of thrillers. But it's about two sisters embarking on an epic quest for revenge, confronting a charged family history that pushes them to extraordinary lengths, to say the least. Is what that is about. Then we've got In the Gray, which is a Guy Ritchie film, which is an action adventure coming in at an hour 38 and is about a covert team of elite operatives embarking on a mission to steal back $1 billion fortune from a ruthless tyrant. Oh, Sterling is in it, JC.
It looks crazy.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see it. Total Drama was my Jersey Shore. Same for 50 Cent as Balrog, who's a Mike Tyson character knockoff in the game. And wait, I couldn't do Total Drama. Yeah, there are shows just that aren't for everyone, but then you can watch in spurts. Like one that Ashleigh and I had a spurt with, but still deeply love the artist, is Uncle Grandpa. The art in it, like it is so manic to be able to handle as something that you would binge watch. It's just a lot, and then his voice can really pluck the wrong strings. But if you just watch them as one-offs, oh my gosh, it's so unbelievably unhinged for no reason. You really don't know where it's going to go, and for that, we deeply enjoyed it.
Extraordinary.
But anyway.
Umo says, would it kill them to have Eliza Gonzalez build in the middle where she is in the poster for In the Gray? I know, it's so interesting, because even Jake Gyllenhaal being billed first, he's not the first one on the poster. So can you match it up? It's all about contracting, like who's first billed. It's wild.
Isn't that wild? Oh.
I know the contracts are all silly about that. Totally. Chris and Arco, I love that we're finding this out and we're having this conversation. I was a Ren and Stimpy fan, but a lot of people know I hated, a lot of people I know hated that show. Oh, I didn't give it a fair chance, probably was turned off by the premise.
That's okay.
Not a Survivor fan. Then we've got two more films. Obsession. I love the resurgence of horror. Can I just say this?
There's so much of it.
Yeah, so this film is called Obsession. It's a horror coming in at an hour 49. And after breaking the mysterious one-wish Willow to win his crush's heart, a hopeless romantic gets exactly what he asked for. However, he soon discovers that some desires come at a dark and sinister price. So a lot of the stills from this film look very bloody, very violent. So if you're into body horrors, this seems to be the way. I'll be honest, I couldn't tell the sunglasses men apart. Umo, I love that. I think they're all just the same. It's just the same model. It's just different. Okay. Finally, in the theaters this weekend is a film called Life Hack. The writer-director of Obsession is 26.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. I feel so old. Speaking of things to bring back, they should do All Real Monsters. Can you imagine a live action? All Real Monsters.
And then they have to get the same puppet costume team that did Kidding, because that would be so cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
The guy that wrote the Backrooms and produced Backrooms is 19. Okay. The sets in that movie are extraordinary. I would potentially watch that movie with the sound off. Agreed, Chris. Kyle, I do think of it just ridiculously jacked. The way they did his hair is comical. In the game, it was also weird.
Oh, we don't love that.
Okay, so Life Hack. I saw that this is listed as a screen life genre and thriller. And so clocking in at an hour 37, Kyle and his friends hack for fun, pranking online scammers. Seeking a bigger thrill, they target billionaire Don Hurd through his daughter Lindsay's social media, stealing his cryptocurrency. So again, this is titled as a screen life / thriller. So I needed to dig into that. I'm going to catch up on shots super fast.
Yeah. Match Zeus, hello. The Royal Canadian Kilted Yaxman was my favorite Ren and Stimpy episode.
I've never retained what that one was, but interested to check that out. Anything in particular about that episode that you enjoy?
JC just straight up says no live action. But what if they weren't people? What if they were puppets?
Okay, like a stop motion, maybe stop motion.
I mean, that'd be cool too.
All real. real monsters in the style of Kidding.
Like, oh, what a beautiful collab.
Wade totally gotcha on being close to reality TV and not having that be your thing. Okay, so screen life, what is this genre? Because it seems pretty evident through the screenshot or from the poster that this is going to be taking place on a screen. And I needed to figure that out. So screen life as a genre is a filmmaking format where the entire story plays out on a digital screen. So think a computer desktop, a phone, or a tablet. So instead of a traditional camera shot of coverage of wides and mids, everything that the audience sees and experiences is happening through a webcam, through footage, through video calls, through text messages, social media. We are, as the audience, being digital voyeurs. So it's commonly used in horror and thrillers, but the format also can work and has worked in snippets of comedy. The defining rule is simple. If it is not on a screen, then it does not appear in the film. Make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
And do any films, just off the bat, before we dive in a little bit further, stand out as being potentially screen life?
That was the only one.
Searching? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because I remember when that one came out. We watched that.
Yeah. So this is a still from the 2018 film Searching with John Chu. So screen life came to be as an offshoot of the found footage genre, think Blair Witch. And it's taking voyeurism that we experienced from the found footage genre into digital voyeurism meets modern day storytelling. So since so many of us experience life through screens, they wanted to incorporate a low budget genre to coincide. This was first credited to Timur, who is the filmmaker and producer behind Wanted. Yes, that Wanted. And first recognized screen life film is the 2014 film Unfriended, which is told completely through a MacBook and was recorded accordingly through Skype calls and Spotify cues, group chats, which for an entire film to sustain that genre is really, really impressive.
It is.
Where Searching in 2018 is where screen life became more mainstream and introduced to a lot wider of audiences. The reason that screen life is particularly towards the horror genre is because it has so many core components already present that leans into horror, which include the fear, isolation, surveillance, anonymity, and the intrusion. And this also works because as individuals, we all spend so much time. I think the average was 5 hours a day on our phones, just our phones, not talking about computer screens or television screens. So 5 hours spent with our phone screens. So it is really, really intimate to see what somebody else has going on their screen, but then also watch a stranger interact with their screen. It helps us feed our curiosity. It's wild.
Yeah, that's the inside look of what do you think that person is even interacting with, and we get to see it.
Totally.
I also think that Cloverfield and Blair Witch were like a step leading into
totally
like a bridge gap to get to this type of filmmaking.
Absolutely. Maybe Searching was the one of them I saw in theaters and thought it was so odd watching phones and screens on the big screen.
Yeah.
Searching was the main one that was released in theaters that introduced audiences to this genre at large. So possibly. I think the lockdown probably brought a lot of more of it around because you couldn't get people together.
Yeah.
I think A24's Undertone would have made a pretty rad found footage style of film. Oh, interesting. Chris saw Undertone and really enjoyed it. Clever. The IP address at your house screams drops device. Totally. So this led me to question, is this a genre that you as a indie filmmaker could explore, should explore? Because just because right now the only films that are being made are horror and thriller and maybe comedy, it doesn't mean that it needs to be held to that. we're seeing a lot of cross-genre collaborations and genre bending, and that really is a thing right now. So is there a way that if you're an indie filmmaker, you can look into the low barrier of entry, that you don't need a big crew, you don't need a large budget to be able to make a story happen, and you do have AR and VR elements that you can add to make it a little bit more immersive and add some more life to it. So this is a medium and genre that you could stretch your creative muscles with storytelling. So interesting.
Umo says, I remember a Miss Ash production that was screen life from that era. Yes, you do.
Umo, it was so exciting to be like, if we're going to recommend some films, we did a film in 2017.
We did.
Without even realizing that this was a screen life film. So if you're interested in this genre, even just to check it out for the trailers or see if it's something that you're interested in, highly recommend Searching. This is like the movie that everybody recommends. Had to throw our film in there. It's called Screenplay. It's on the CA in LA YouTube, and would love for you to check it out. It's like 6 minutes long, and I remember when we filmed it, it's still not one that we really talk about because it didn't get really good reception. People didn't get it, and they were like, this would never happen. And I was like, okay. People are getting their computers hacked all the time. It's absolutely plausible. And we're all going to the World's Fair, which also dives into how cruel the internet can be for kids, for everyone really, but my second to final segment is PBS, because we trust. 100 million people watch their local PBS stations in any given month. That's a lot. That's a lot of people, okay? And that's not including the tens of millions of streams that happen on PBS's website and their mobile app. In 2025, for the 22nd year in a row, Americans ranked PBS and its member stations #1 in public trust, which was ahead of commercial cable, broadcast TV, newspapers, and streaming services. And 85% of parents agreed that PBS Kids is the most trusted and safe source for children to watch TV and play digital games.
We love PBS.
That's a lot of people, that's a lot of eyeballs, and that's a lot of vetted trust, okay? So especially only filmmakers out there, okay? So PBS was founded in 1969, but the actual first show that ever aired was Julia Child's cooking show, The French Chef.
I love that so much.
In 1970. Famously, Bob Ross has painted over 400 plus episodes with The Joy of Painting on public television in 1982 and then 1982 through 1984. PBS also was 94. The original pioneer of closed captioning. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
But what? PBS? Babes. That's awesome. And interestingly enough, PBS themselves, they actually don't produce any of the shows that are on their network. Everything is made by member stations, independent producers, and creators worldwide. They're simply a distributor. I
hope that this is a great platform for indie film, that PBS will come back, because as we've seen, Netflix, they were distributors. Now they've just started making their own, and PBS is like, we are not doing that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We love it.
And,
Wishbone.
And these shows played a huge role in our upbringing, like seeing these really whimsical educational shows that taught kids that their voices were relevant and that their imagination was important. Just essential viewing, truly.
Agreed.
OMG, I watched Julia Child's every Sunday and the cooking shows that came on after hers, pretending to be a chef alongside her.
I love that so much, JC.
You are a chef. If we could recommend, I know that these are in Southern California PBS, but these are 3 of the episodes and shows that we found on PBS. You also can check them out on YouTube. So if you were interested in the Artemis 2 launch, Return to the Moon from PBS Nova does an extraordinary job breaking down the science into something that makes sense of all of the stakes that went into the Artemis 1 launch and how that carried into Artemis 2, and the scientific concerns and achievements that NASA made to get all of that information about the moon. So cool.
It's so cool.
Then we watched this documentary called Our Neighbors, the Peacocks, which is about this group of peacocks that exist and live in a neighborhood in Southern California called Arcadia. And it just does a really great job presenting both sides of the argument. I still am thinking about this days later, and I don't know whose side I'm on, because I get it. And then can venues do better? Ahead of the Olympics, they did a sustainability documentary talking about the impact of trash and events and people in stadiums in Los Angeles. Really fascinating look at how much waste and how much labor goes into every event to try to make things be a little bit more sustainable.
Mm-hmm. Clever. If kids must grow up on screens, PBS shows are the things I want them to see.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Right. And I think that speaks volumes to the trust that they institute. It's not as wild as the other neighbor show, but I think it's a really insightful look at what do we do with all of these wild peacocks when they're way past just like casually roaming, that like there is a legitimate overpopulation issue with these peacocks, but they are birds. And do we get rid of them when we are the ones that settled here on their, it's crazy stuff. But for filmmakers, POV, which is PBS's independent documentary showcase, has been on the air since 1988 and is the longest running nonfiction showcase for independent nonfiction films on television. That's a mouthful.
So cool, though.
And did you know that Ken Burns actually started his career on PBS with his 1981 doc, Brooklyn Bridge?
And did PBS show a lot of the BBC Sir David Attenborough nature documentaries? Umbo, they did.
They did.
They have a whole section that has a bunch of his stuff on there. Yeah.
There's no advertisement pressure, and you already have built-in distribution, audiences, and trust. So if you are a filmmaker that's making documentary or episodic content, I highly recommend for you to connect with your local PBS station and see about having your work featured. I've had friends that have won regional Emmys having their work on PBS. And
incredible.
Come on, it's built in. It's built-in distribution. From history, peacocks were the first takeout food for long ship journeys across the sea. Delicious pheasants.
Oh,
wow.
I did not know that.
Had no idea.
Thank you for sharing.
I have two last anecdotes. Cannes Film Festival is happening right now in the French Riviera until May 23rd. It was founded in 1946. This is the 79th anniversary. The host is French actress Ai Hadara, and the jury president is Park Chan-wook. The themes that are really present in the feature films this year are war, grief, and the impact of artificial intelligence. What makes Cannes a little bit different is that it's very auteur-driven. So that's where you will hear that films had like a 45-minute standing ovation. No lie, it happens.
I don't know how you sustain that, but go off.
Just long standing ovations, really strict red carpet rules.
Yes.
And this year there's 28 French produced films and 5 women filmmakers that are in competition for the Palme d'Or, which is the award. We're going to talk more about Cannes next year because I don't think enough filmmakers and people know about Cannes, and instead of it being snooty and pretentious, would love to break that down.
Next episode?
Yeah.
Next episode.
And two last bits of news. Peter Jackson announced while he was receiving his Palme d'Or from Elijah Wood for honoring him for Lord of the Rings premiering 25 years ago at the Cannes Film Festival that he's writing and directing a sequel to Steven Spielberg's animated 2011 film, The Adventures of Tintin. Didn't realize that Adventures of Tintin was this big of a deal, but apparently it is. And it's a really big deal that Peter Jackson is the one that's spearheading it. But he said that he's actively writing the script while he's at Cannes. Vibes. There's a new Westworld movie that's just announced that will be under writer David Kopp, who did Jurassic Park. This will not be based on the TV series, but based on the 1973 film. Okay, and I think I've two more. There's a documentary about Oasis that is their reunion tour, and it features the first joint interviews of Noel and Liam in 25 years. Everyone's very hype about this, and that's part of why Disney made the announcement that they're actually releasing it in theaters and then putting it on streaming, thank God. So this will be an IMAX released documentary in theaters. And finally, Coraline, actually announced this new film called Wildwood. It's made by Leica, who's the same studio who made Coraline. So this is a stop motion animation fantasy that will be out in theaters October 23rd.
I'm so excited.
A tale of love, loss, and sacrifice and secrets, and of the magic you can find on your doorstep if you're willing to look for it.
That sounds great.
I know. It looks
I love
beautiful.
a stop motion animation, so I'm on board.
It looks stunning. I'm done. Courtney's going to talk about Film.io, Frame.io, and Film Impact Part 2.
Correct. We'll see if we get to that. But, yes.
Got you.
Thank you. Let's talk about it. So Frame.io released a bunch of things. We're at Frame.io V4. I love that that's how they refer to it as well. All right, so let's talk about it. So they released a couple things. One, if you want to go to the next slide when you're done. Ashleigh will pull them up as I'm talking about them. But one, they've added more storage. So if you are not familiar with Frame.io, in its shortest essence, it is a cloud file sharing service. And so you would probably say, okay, well, Google Drive. No. This is so much more than that. They've added more storage. They used to have an archival one. You can go to the next slide, where if you weren't working on a project, you could move it elsewhere and it wouldn't take up as much storage. But instead, they've just added more storage to all of their plans.
Yay!
Which is amazing, because if you're going to be sharing all of this work, sometimes a client wants something years later, and then it's always better to have storage. Now, I want to talk about what there should be another one of a list of things. There it is. Thank you. What it actually looks like. So you get 2 gigabytes of storage at the free tier, which you're like, 2 gigs. Okay, that's not very much. All right, fine. But if we go to the pro plan, which is $15, you get 2 terabytes. So you go from 2 gigs to 2 terabytes. And on top of that, your plan gets to have 5 members. And for each member you add, you get 2 more terabytes. So it used to be that you would get, at the pro plan, it would be 2 terabytes, and then you could add 5 members and you didn't get any more storage. But now they've added more storage per person that you add, which just makes it great. So that was one of the biggest things that they released. They also released transcription, which I will hopefully be able to demo a couple of these things if I've got time. And if not, I will carry it on into next week, because I'm planning on doing this for 2 episodes. So you can also transcribe your footage. I know that this may seem pretty obvious if you're an editing platform. It's like, okay, well, transcription's now just becoming part of it. But other file sharing places also need to keep up and start adding this tech. And so Frame.io has added it. And you can bulk transcribe your clips, which is amazing. It's not just you click on one and then you transcribe it. You can click on a folder and transcribe all of them. So why does this matter? Transcription is amazing. For one, if you have a client and well, first, the transcription can generate captions for you. You used to have to upload your caption files, but now you don't have to do that. You can do it right within Frame. Then it also makes searching different sections really easy. Ashleigh and I have demoed it in Premiere before, where now we have text-based editing. And if we want to search a specific phrase, because maybe the client's like, I remember when they said this specific line, but I don't know where it is in the 2 hours worth of footage that I have, they can just type it in and find that time code very easily. And it also makes it easy to start pulling clips for clients moving forward. If, again, you are the editor and you need a specific line or you need a certain part in the song, having text be a part of this integrated or part of this workflow is invaluable. So they've added transcription. And then we know that they've added the frame panel within Premiere, which I will go over again. Mm-hmm. But they've also updated the Apple iOS experience, which we love, because you can now start on your phone and finish it on a desktop. So now they're integrating Frame not just through computers, it's through your phones as well, which is very helpful. If you've seen us demo other Adobe products before, you know that they're all cross-compatible. And so now Frame is entering that as well, which is incredible, because if you're on the go like Ashleigh and I are and you want to start something really quick, you want to be able to finish it properly at a desktop. And they've also added document review tools. So in the file sharing, it's not just video, it's also PDFs, it's Acrobat files, it's a lot of that stuff. So now you can go in and highlight certain text and make your notes on that. So doing that with PDFs makes all of your note taking so much simpler. They've also added new organization, which is custom organizing your files and not just sorting them by date added, date created, date edited, all of that. You can actually custom organize it, which I think needs to be everywhere all the time, because custom organization is queen.
Yeah, we all like our things particularly.
Right. And so in that custom organization, they've also added drag and drop within your folder structure. So if you have a huge file with like 100 folders within it, you can now just drag and drop a new folder into and reorganize them that way. So you can constantly be adding new work, which is great. And then the final thing that they've added is this is for higher tiered plans, but they've restricted folders, which makes your organization much easier as well. For example, if I have, Ashleigh and I worked on Mermaid Unicorn's music video. And so we have the down music video folder that has everything in it. But maybe Ashleigh and I want to upload a couple things that are just for us to keep internally, keep it organized, but maybe Merms doesn't need to see that. In the team's plans and higher, you can now organize who has specific access to specific folders within your project instead of having someone come onto your project and then get to see everything, which is great. So it keeps everything organized instead of you having to go outside of your project, create folders that are just for us. So you now have restricted usage, which is wonderful. And so those are the really, really big things that they've added. Are you okay?
Yeah, I was just going to move that so that it's like not on the screen, but it's fine.
Well, I'll just open one. Now it's not there. Okay, so what does this actually look like? I can show you. This is Frame.io, and this is the desktop version of Frame.io. And again, we have it in Premiere as well. So a big reason why the Premiere panel is so important is because if we didn't have it, I would have to be in this browser source, have it pulled up somewhere else, and be jumping between Premiere and Frame.
And that's been the workflow previously.
Yes. So I'm going to show you really quick what some of these look like. Let's do some transcription. I'm going to click on our footage. I just brought in this clip of Ashleigh and I of our, since we are doing our album again, I wanted to transcribe it real quick. This is when our donation goal got complete, and it was very exciting. So I click on my clip, or I could select the folder, but just for this, I'm going to click on the clip, and then I'm going to generate transcript, which is in the lower right under our heads. Don't move us for too long. But then I'm going to generate the transcript right there. And you can see there's upload caption file, which is what used to be the only way in which you could do this. So generate transcript, and it supports 18 different languages, which is wonderful. But we're going to keep it English, and we could label speakers. Honestly, it doesn't really matter for us, but transcribe. Yes. And now it's generating our transcript, and now I'll be able to search and look for everything. But something else that I'm going to show you is the document review tool. So that is how you quickly generate captions for your files. And then if we're going to go into documents, so let me go back to all right, so let's just say we have an actor agreement that we've pulled up and somebody doesn't like the specific verbiage. This is how you're going to go about editing it. So maybe it's the artist services. Maybe they don't like that it's called artist services. I don't know why, but maybe. So I'm going to highlight it and make sure that you have this friend suggestions. It says right now that they're off. Make sure it's toggled on, because when it's toggled on, that's where our window will pop up. So let's toggle it on. And yeah, maybe they don't like services. I don't know. So I highlight it and I can leave a comment saying, I don't know what you would change this to, but I could leave my comment here, just highlight it. Or if I want to remove something, so it just allows you to tell different types of notes. So remove it. So it's going to strike it out. And don't like this verbiage, let's say. And now it is popped up in my side notes. And anytime I add multiple, so if this is a 20-page document, let's say, and let's pretend we're at the bottom, and I need to go to this specific one, I can click on it and it brings me right back to where that initial note is made. And not just with documents, but this is huge when it comes to film. And next week I will do a full breakdown of what that actually looks like and how we use Frame.io from start to end.
I feel that echo.
I don't like it. Yeah. Sometimes no suggestions at all. Just, I don't like it. And
this is really good when you're working
well.
with multiple people across multiple platforms to be able to have everything centralized and have everything for the project, not all over the place in different folders and different emails, different document threads. And it's nice to just keep everything succinct, especially here, and be able to go in and address each note individually and be able to respond to and react to the notes.
Yes. And This is the workflow of how it used to go. Ashleigh and I would be working on a project. We would upload the project to Vimeo. The Vimeo link would have time code added. And then we would have a Google Doc that was running that had the time code that we would type in. And we would say, at this point, this is what's going on. Or someone would give notes and give us specific time code within that Google Doc. That takes a lot of other working pieces that aren't really necessary. You can just have this all within Frame.io, and then you're organized and you have all of your notes ready to go. You can also mark them as complete, which again, I will go over all of this next week when I do a little bit more in depth. So
let's circle back to V1. Throw out everything from V2 to V5.
And because of all of your extra storage, now you can have V5 in here, and your client will be able to access it up here when you add them to the project. So if they're like, oh, I really like, can we go back to V4? We'll say, great, can you open it and put a note in the time code of exactly the piece that you want from V4? And this just makes the workflow so much faster. So we have the desktop, right? And let's go back to, let's say I want to leave notes. So I can show you how seamless this is. So let's open our video and let's leave a comment. Maybe right here, I want to say, it wouldn't work for this, but my reaction wasn't big enough for our album being funded. So we don't like it. We want to change the clip to something else.
I love that it's Courtney's reaction. That's a problem, not mine.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've added a note in browser. I'm going to bring you over to Premiere now. Woo! Okay. So I am on a different project, and this is where I'm going to finish those 2 demos that I had the other day. But as we can see in our top right, we now have our Frame.io panel, V4. I really love that it's V4 and it just keeps going up.
So if I have never added Frame, where would I go to add that?
You can go to Window, Extensions.
It's actually Window, and scroll down.
Where is it? There.
There you go.
Frame.io, and we don't want Legacy, we want V4. So this is where you will be able to add it. And it is going to be up here within our properties and Lumetri color.
You also can move where that is docked.
Yes. As always, Premiere is completely customizable. I just leave it over here because I like having it to the right.
Chris has to reshoot it. Has anyone ever been removed from comments they needed to see in order to do their job as a video editor? I'm sure that people have been removed. Yeah, it's hard to say, but I would imagine that people have been removed, and I'm not sure what happens to their notes.
You know, I'm not sure either, but that's a great question. I should find out. Okay, so let's open this up. I made those notes on that video that my reaction wasn't big enough, okay, on this specific video. So I'm going to open it, and already the comments have populated. So it stays up to date, very close to real time. That if someone is working off-site or not anywhere where you are, you have live commentary, which is fabulous. Because if you're like, hey, I've got 20 minutes to get this thing done, can you jump into the Frame.io file and let's just get this going? And now I can work within Premiere, type back my notes, mark them as complete, and have an active dialogue, very much like we're talking to you right now on YouTube or on Twitch, and make those corrections very easily without having to do any sort of screen share, which is amazing, and be able to point out very specific pieces of your footage to make that edit go much faster. So that is the gist review of what Frame.io has now released and what it looks like within Premiere, and then I will do a full one of all of the other cool things you can do within Frame.io. So I hope that you can see how awesome it is and how much time, because again, that's what Ashleigh and I want to do. We want to save you sleep.
Yeah, when you're working with numerous clients and just keeping all of those notes straight, it's really lovely to have the accountability of, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I did miss that note, and we do have the record of it here, instead of it being like one note is being given in an email that has a different email thread. This is like literally what's going on with us right now, that notes were given in an email thread instead of having them all in one place. And so some of the information has been lost. So here, everything is straightforward and everyone has accountability.
Yes, I cannot tell you how valuable Frame.io is. On top of that, they do something that is C2C, which is camera to cloud sharing. And if you don't know what camera to cloud sharing is, it is essentially you film from your camera and that footage uploads straight to Frame.io. It goes straight to the cloud, which means you don't have to worry about, you should always have a backup, so please put stuff on hard drives as well. But in theory, Ashleigh and I are at NAB and we can set up camera to cloud on our iPhones and have it linked to our Frame account, and we could film the convention floor, upload it right to Frame without ever having to offload any footage. Again, it's just making those things so much easier. So camera to cloud is absolutely incredible, and it even works with an iPhone, which we love. I'm not sure if Android has camera to cloud capabilities. I'm assuming it does. If it does, then you can do it with almost any phone. And how amazing is that when you're a content creator? Is you're like, oh, well, I'm just going to upload it right to my cloud folder and I don't have to brain about it. And it's not Apple Cloud. It's something else that's actually going to work with you and for you when it comes to notes and working with clients. It's a win-win for everybody. Okay. Now, I'm going to rewind back to last week where I have my 2 videos here because we are working properly. So if I want to add a zoom, instead of doing my keyframes, we're going to go into the Film Impact effects now that Adobe has acquired Film Impact, and we're going to use Motion Tween. So what I'm going to do first is make sure that my clip is chopped and that the second clip is at the zoom that I want it to be at. And then how do we make this a smooth transition? I am just going to add Motion Tween between the two as a transition, and we can see that it's here. The length of the transition will depend on the length of your footage. So make sure that you always have extra room in your footage to make that transition work. But since this is a continuous clip, I have plenty of footage. All right, so let's watch it back. And it adds this weird black bar cross dissolve thing that we don't want, right? So I want to go into my Motion Tween effects, which means I'm going to click on the specific effect, scroll down, and under render options, there's going to be a blend type, which is dissolve, and we don't want that. So instead, I'm going to say composite. And that is going to save me so much time doing a zoom right into a part of the video that I don't have to keyframe, adjust sizing, adjust any of those things. It's just one effect and I've got it.
There you go. Motion Tween.
Motion Tween. And it can be used for so many things. And now I can, like I said, extend how slow or how fast that transition happens. And it's seamless as if Ashleigh was on a lens that she did a pinch zoom or that she zoomed in. It's wonderful. All right, and then the final one that I want to talk about is motion camera. I showed you a group of clips that we wanted to talk about our trip at Sundance and maybe just do a few highlights. One of our highlights was that we got to do a walk down Main Street while we were there and showing the Adobe booth being set up at Sundance this year. And we had a lot of really cool moments. And so if I want to do a quick reel with these, motion camera is going to give me the coolest effects to do that, and I will show you. It's
motion camera or Motion Tween?
Motion camera.
Okay.
So this is a new effect, and I went ahead and dragged it in my clips already, but you will find it the same way that we found Motion Tween, or you can go into Film Impact Dashboard. But remember, when we go to our effects, it's easier to drag and drop where on the clip you want it, as opposed to just clicking apply, and then it decides where it's going to add. So let's play this through. And so it immediately added one for us, a transition type for us, which it's okay. It's something, but what I really want to do is do that zoom in that I find really cool that, again, people do with keyframes and all of this other stuff. But I'm going to do a power zoom in instead, and I'm going to apply that to all of them.
So note, you have to go in and change each individual transition.
Well, what you could do is just copy and paste this transition, but since I already added them,
Totally.
I'm just going to do it one by one, but you can copy and paste them as well. Okay. And so now let's see what it does. Just these quick little clips of our trip to Sundance. And it puts the footage almost inside of itself and just makes it more exciting. So even little things like that, motion camera, I find, and I find really cool, and I'm going to use it a lot. But it just adds that extra thing and makes your videos more dynamic simply with an effect that is already within Premiere. So it's really amazing.
I love that. Thank you for showing us Frame, and thank you for showing us just all of this really fun stuff that we can do to level up our vlogs and level up our work.
It doesn't have to be that hard.
So that
it really doesn't.
We can create motion without all of the pain points.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
So next week I will go into frame and actually show you how it works on the granular side. It's very cool.
Yeah. So next week, second to last episode for this season. Make sure that you tune in 11 a.m. Pacific. I'm going to be going over Cannes, and I really liked doing the PBS feature and the different genre feature. Let us know what you think. Jump in the Adobe Live Discord. Give us some feedback. Make sure that you like this video. It goes a long way in engagement and helping Adobe see that this is a show that y'all want to see week after week. Queen Sharon, thank you for tuning in. Umo, Jacob, and Wade, thank you for a magnificent job modding. Ohana, thank you for tuning in. I'm Ashleigh. This is Courtney. Hey. We're CA in LA, Courtney and Ashleigh in Los Angeles. Best friends, filmmakers, musicians, variety streamers.
Yes.
Catch us tonight on twitch.tv/CA_in_LA.
And our challenge for this week is go watch something, whether it's a movie or a show, and watch it particularly for a certain area of production. Ashleigh said she was going to watch a movie on silent. Maybe we'll watch it for cinematography. We don't know. We'll see.
Thank you all so
next
much. Young, Sharon, Kerr, Arco, Chris, Vitor, Thrish, Jay, Umo. Thank you all so much for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you next Wednesday. Naps and snacks.